I was in a very like toxic situationship. Hey world travelers, welcome back to my channel if you are subscribed, and if you are new, welcome to the world of Wiss. I'm Wiss and I hope that you do stick around and subscribe to become a part of my world. Today I'm bringing you a story time of how and why I became a flight attendant. And I want to say, like a couple months ago, I asked you all in my story if you guys wanted to hear about the time that I almost didn't make it through flight attendant training. So yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, I almost didn't make it through flight attendant training. So 96% of you guys said yes. If you follow me on Instagram, you are able to participate in these polls, and here I am. I'm bringing you guys a whole little story time. So without further ado, before watching this video, be sure to subscribe if you are new here. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. If you have watched my videos and you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. If you are here for the first time, just go ahead and subscribe before you even do anything else. Just subscribe. But we are going to take it back to July of 2015. So here we are. I turned 21 in July of 2015. I was in a very like toxic situationship, and you can take situationship in any which way, manner you would like to. You know, work can be toxic, family can be toxic, relationships can be toxic, friendships can be toxic. So whatever you deem as toxic, that's what I was in, and I kind of wanted like a way out, you know. Like for a majority of my life, I was just uncomfortable with things, you know. Like I was going to school to please, you know, people, and following and chasing a degree that I didn't really want. I was working one full-time job and a part-time job, but it was just very hard paying for school, and you know, taking care of myself. It was just a lot. So I decided to drop out of college, and you know, I was just trying to find myself. Like I just felt lost. I just needed change. I know that I always wanted to be a flight attendant for like the longest, but I know that people weren't supportive of that. And my culture, like unless you're like a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, like, you know, they deem those careers as being successful, and if you don't follow within one of those categories, you aren't successful. I was, you know, going to school and following a career that I didn't become, I lost passion for, you know. I was going to nursing school and I lost passion for that. It didn't excite me, you know. So I ultimately made a decision for myself that I'm going to chase my flight attendant career. I'm finally 21, you know. I've been thinking about this for a while, and most airlines hire 21 and older. There are a few that hire at 18, I want to say, but because most airlines serve and sell alcohol, you have to be 21 years of age. So, you know, in 2015, that was just kind of like the room is shaking, like whistling. What are you gonna do with your life? Like, you need to make a move, because this environment is just, you have outgrown the space that you are in, mentally, physically, emotionally. You need change. So, you know, I prayed about it, and God says, are you willing to be uncomfortable, you know, because I need to take you out of this comfortable space that you are in and throw you somewhere else, you know. And for the longest, I fought with, you know, the battle of starting over, living somewhere new, finding a new job, career, a new lifestyle. And I was just like, I don't know if I am ready for that yet, because all I've known was Florida. You know, I had my friends, you know, I had my support systems, I had my community, I had my village where it was, or what I thought was my village where it was. And you know, I was just like, okay, I'm willing to take the step. 2015 was very hard for me. It was an emotional roller coaster, and I was like, I need to leave Florida. I can't do this anymore. You know, I'm not happy. I don't know what to do. So I was like, you know what, I'm about to start applying for airlines. So I applied to like a good chunk of airlines between November and December. I went to a couple of face-to-face, had a couple of phone interviews, had a couple of video interviews, and with my specific airline that I am with, I applied to them, I want to say in December, and I went through the whole like interview before going to like the group interview slash face-to-face, and that happened in January. Now, January 2016, there was like a major snowstorm in New York that had hit the whole Northeast. So my flight was like canceled like 3 times. Bought tickets on different airlines, it was canceled. Like, I was like, how am I gonna get to New York? Like, oh my gosh. Like, they rescheduled it like a week later, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't afford to do this. I can't get the time off. My manager was like, I got you covered, don't worry about it. So my manager helped me in that aspect, and I was like, bet. So I ended up going to Maryland to see my boyfriend, and then from Maryland I took the Amtrak. And guys, this Amtrak was supposed to leave like early in the morning. It didn't end up leaving late at night. You know, I ended up getting to New York after midnight, and I had to be at like the recruiter session at like 7:30 in the morning. So like, I'm like getting off the train at like 1 o'clock, checking into my hotel at 2 a.m, barely getting enough sleep. You know, I make it through the little seminar, the hiring event. I'm offered a CJO in January. I do my fingerprints, and they do my I go to like an offsite, and they do our urine sample, you know, just to make sure that we are free of drugs. And then we went to training in March. So March of 2016 comes along, and I am in training. My specific airline had training for 4 weeks. So when I left Florida, you know, I left with absolutely everything. Some of my items are actually still in my manager's garage. Like, I packed up everything that I could, and 5 years later, she's still like storing a lot of my items. And you know, I took like suitcases up to training with me because I knew that I would be relocating. Like, this was the change that I needed. So I was like, you know what, I'm not coming back to Florida. And you know, I packed like I was leaving for good. So March we go to training. I want to say like March 4th, I don't know, like beginning of March, and it's like 4 weeks. So like the end of March, you know, we were done with training, but I think we graduated like the first week of April. I want to say week 3 was my trial week. And I want to say this, it had nothing to do with testing, it had nothing to do with not passing anything. Like, it wasn't like curriculum related. Like, I did well on all my tests. Like, it had nothing to do with that. So I told you guys that I left Florida, you know, in hopes to moving somewhere. I wanted to be New York based, and my airline was hiring for New York at the time. So thank God I was able to get New York. So, you know, New York costs money, you know, like, it's real expensive. Leaving Florida and coming up north, it's kind of like, whoa, like, you got to come prepared. So, you know, I was saving for like a while. Like, I had like a good chunk of money saved up, and I had 2 separate accounts. So one account was like savings only. I could like drop money in it. I didn't have like a physical card, but I could check up my balance on online or on the app. And then another one was like one with my debit card, you know, swipe it, you know, easy debit card. So on the 3rd week, you know, me and one of the young ladies from training, Alex. I know Alex, you watch my videos, so shout out to you, Alex. And my roommate Tabitha, so shout out to you, Tabby. So I was roommates with Tabitha in training, but me and Alex decided that we were going to find a place to live together. Alex is from California, and I was from Florida, and I think we were the only 2 relocating from different states to live at base. Everyone else were either going to commute or they lived in one of the bases. So at the time, people were going to 1, 2, 3, 4 out of, I want to say, the 6 bases that we currently have now. So they were hiring for a majority of the bases that my airline offers for. So me and Alex are sitting and planning out, you know, where we're gonna live, what city, what town, what borough in New York we wanted to live in. And we're not from New York, so we really didn't know like where to live, but you know, we knew that we wanted to be close to the airport for being on reserve, because you know, when we graduated, we'd be on reserve, and we needed to be close enough to get to the airport within a 2-hour time frame. So the 3rd week of training, Alex and I are like on rent.com, you know, like Zillow, you know, looking up, you know, apartments to live in. And I'm like trying to get my finances in order, you know. I write everything down. I'm planning, you know, if we get cable, you know, like how much the electric is going to be, how much rent, what our budget is, you know, like we're planning things out, you know. So I go and check my account just to make sure, you know, my funds. Something told me like, check your account, you know, make sure everything is nice and tight. This is the account that I don't have like a swipe debit card to. I chose not to have that just so I don't have easy access to that money. I go and check that account, and there's like 81 or 71 cents in the account. And at this point, I'm like, I'm stunned, I'm shocked, it didn't register yet, but I'm like exiting out the app and reloading it and signing in, making sure that my account information is correct, you know, and it's still saying the 71 or 81 cent balance. So now I am distraught. I'm distressed because here I am. I brought everything from Florida with me to training. I have nowhere to go if I go back to Florida. I mean, I could, you know, couch hop on different friends' couches, you know, but I already told them, you know, hey, I'm leaving, you know, I'm not coming back, da da da. And I was just like, WTF am I gonna do? You know, like I'm crying, like my roommate, oh my gosh, Tabby, I'm like, trying not to cry. My roommate Tabitha, we were like this, and you know, she's telling me it's gonna be okay, like don't worry, don't leave. And I'm packing up my room. I'm like, this is all for nothing. Like I got through 3 weeks of training for nothing. Like I have no money to move to New York. Like I have nothing. Like I am distraught. Like I am stressed, you know. I'm going through it, I'm crying, like, and then like, you know, we were in hotel rooms, so like there was a hotel room here, we were here, and then there were like 2 across. I don't know how attention got to my room. I don't know if I was crying too loud, I don't know if I was yelling. I remember like going downstairs and calling my boyfriend, you know, and telling him what just happened, you know, and me telling him I'm gonna leave, and he was telling me, don't leave, like you got this far, like what do you mean you're gonna leave? And I'm just like, I can't do it. He's like, you're gonna do it, you're gonna get through it. And I'm just like, I don't know, like I have no money to move to New York, like I don't have nothing. Like this was my savings from like years of just saving. And you know, I was like, I packed up my entire room. I told my roommate, you know, and this was like the weekend, I think this was like Friday, so there was like no class on Saturday or Sunday. And I was like telling my roommate, you know, please tell, you know, the managers, or I don't know how I was gonna get home. Like I didn't even have money to buy a ticket. I'm just like, I'm leaving. And word got around, and everyone was coming to console me, and everyone's telling me, don't leave, you know, it's gonna work out, you're gonna be able to find something. And Alex is like, yeah, don't worry about it, you know, we can find, you know, something, da da da. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have nothing. I'm like, guys, I'm real, like now looking back, like I'm not crying, but like I still have like a knot in my throat, because like experiencing it in the moment, like I'm just like, I'm speechless. I don't know, what am I supposed to do now? You know, I have nothing. So my guardian angel pulls me out of my room, and my guardian angel tells me to tell her what's going on. And I tell her, I'm like, I show her, I'm like, you know, these were withdrawals within like a period of time, and I didn't notice it, but it was like a period of time like recently, but I didn't notice it, you know. And I was just like, I have nothing. I'm supposed to be moving to New York with Alex, like, you know, like I'm gonna leave training because it's just not gonna be worth it. I'm not gonna be able to, I have nothing, you know. And like I had like spending money, but it wasn't enough to get me a place for like a security deposit, you know, the first month, last month rent, you know, like just getting a bed, a mattress, like getting situated in New York. I didn't have anything, you know. So my guardian angel, oh, bless her heart, my guardian angel blessed me more than I could have even imagined to be blessed with, and you know, just to pay it forward. So that's what kept me in training. I didn't want to accept it at first because I've never had anyone be so generous to me in that sense, you know. And I was just like, I can't take this from you, like you don't owe this to me, like I won't be able to repay this to you, because you know, this was like a lot of my savings money. And she's like, I'm not asking you to take this, I'm telling you to take this. And that's what I needed. Like, I kept crying. Like, I was so grateful. I was like, I just packed up my whole room, and she's like, yeah, and now go unpack it because you still got one more week, and you know, you're gonna make it through, you know. And I always tell her, like, every time I see her and I message her, I'm like, I'm so grateful for you, you know. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for you, you know. Like, I don't know where I would be, you know. I don't know how my life would be if it wasn't for you, you know. And you know, it always takes a village. You have to be willing to allow people to help you in your time of need. And I'm very like independent because I was forced to grow up at a young age. So I've kind of been like on my own and kind of like a boss woman, you know, like very young. You know, I've held jobs at like a very young age, just taking care of myself. So, you know, I didn't know how to take from someone else, you know, and this was like a complete stranger, you know. So that was like, I could, like, there's not enough thank yous, there's not enough words in the world to tell her how much I appreciate her. But I'm gonna keep her name anonymous. But to my guardian angel, I thank you so much, you know. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, you helped me get situated in New York. You helped me be able to live off of my reserve pay, because, you know, as a reserve, it is very hard, you know. And I was on reserve for 6 months. You helped me just start a new life in New York. You know, you were a part of rebuilding and the rebranding of Whistling, you know. And I would not have this YouTube channel, and I don't know if I would be a flight attendant if it wasn't for her. You just never know. So to my guardian angel, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for not allowing me to leave training. Thank you for being the amazing person that you are, you know. And I just say, like, you never know what someone is going through and the battles that they're dealing with. You have to be kind to everyone, you know. I found happiness, and I chose happiness for myself, you know. And I left Florida. I left what was very comfortable for me to get uncomfortable, and then to get shuffled up just to be where I am now, you know. And I am currently back living in Florida, but I'm not in my hometown. But, you know, it takes a lot for a person to be vulnerable and open up and share, you know, with complete strangers in training, yet alone you guys on YouTube. So for anyone out there, you know, even when you think it is impossible, you know, it's not. There's always someone there who is proud of you from behind, who is admiring you, who's gonna look out for you, you know. Like, we just have guardian angels all around us. So, you know, just be kind to yourself. Give yourself time. Be patient with yourself. Do not be so hard on yourself. You know, I know this career is a dream for a lot of people, and a lot of people get defeated because, you know, it's very like, it's tough. It's a tough industry to get in sometimes, you know, depending on if you want to do regional, mainline, legacy, international, whatever it is that you want to do, you know. Like, it takes a lot, you know. So you have to be willing to become uncomfortable just to be comfortable again. So that is my story on how I became a flight attendant, and about the time that I almost did not make it through training. I did want to thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you watched this whole video and you have not yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe before leaving. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.